Some new information just came out for Halo Infinite's co-op campaign, and it doesn't seem to be very good news. Every time Halo Infinite tries to climb up the ladder, it just seems that the ladder keeps lowering due to mishaps like this, and I wanted to talk about it. We're also going to talk about a few other things, like Naughty Dog, the developers of The Last of Us, making a statement about their thoughts on the fans' reaction to the game, Ubisoft giving up on 3 older games they made, and more. So let's get right into it. This is another episode of the Daily Gaming Report. Okay, so the first news of today is that Halo Infinite finds itself in another hairy situation. The co-op campaign beta, or so-called flight, for Halo Infinite has been delayed. As reported by IGN, Halo Infinite's campaign co-op beta is still a no-show. 343 Industries is still targeting this week. Halo Infinite's campaign co-op beta still hasn't kicked off as developer 343 Industries is currently unable to get the mode working. In a series of tweets below, spotted by PC Gamer, 343's community director, Brian Gerard, said the team is still targeting this week, but it's day by day as work continues. Despite announcing it would begin the week of July 11th. Quote, "The team is still working on our upcoming Halo Infinite Network co-op insider fight build," Gerard said, with flight essentially meaning beta. He continued, quote, "Fighting is fluid as the process entails discovering issues in initial rings and resolving them before expanding to a larger audience. A few issues were discovered in our current flight ring, and the team is working to address." He also replied the third time to the tweet and said, "Apologies to folks who expected the flight today. We are eager to get this into your hands, but we also want to ensure it's a positive and worthwhile flight experience. Still targeting this week, but it's day by day as work continues. Thank you for your patience and understanding." Now what's interesting is that Halo Infinite's campaign in co-op was actually delayed before. It was delayed from the game's initial release date in December last year. 343 later announced another delay to the mode, saying it wouldn't arrive until May 22nd at the earliest, and only in June confirmed the beta would begin in July. Honestly, I do feel for these devs. I mean, they just can't seem to get a break. If we're going to be completely honest, the game hasn't really had the smoothest launch. Many issues arise after the game's release and even before the game's release, but it's good to see that every time they encounter these issues, they always try to resolve them as soon as possible. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section down below. The next news topic is that Ubisoft is apparently giving up on 3 of their older games that were announced. As reported by thegamer.com, Ubisoft seems to have left Assassin's Creed Liberation HD, Silent Hunter 5, and Space Junkies by the wayside in its push to drop online support for a long list of older games. The company previously announced that while these would be losing online functionality, offline gameplay would remain mostly unaffected. Assassin's Creed Liberation HD, Silent Hunter 5, and Space Junkies, on the other hand, appeared to completely be unplayable. Quote, "Closing the online services for some older games allows us to focus our resources on delivering great experiences for players who are playing newer or more popular titles." The company said in the initial announcement, quote, "To help us achieve this, a number of older titles will be added to our list of decommissioned online services on September 1st, 2022. Sounds like another loss for game preservation. I know we're starting off with some pretty bad news on 2 games, but this is just the truth and we have to say it how it is. Now this isn't actually a new thing for Ubisoft. Ubisoft routinely does this for all their older games, but it's just quite sad to see these games go away like this. Hopefully Ubisoft at least makes them playable, even if they're offline. Next up, we have a quote from the developer of The Last of Us PS5 Remake, saying that it's not a cash grab, and he also said that the $70 price point is out of their control. This is the tweet by Robert Morrison, quote, "It's just a cash grab," end quote. Actually, it's the most meticulously built and crafted project that I have ever seen or been a part of in my entire career. The highest level of care and attention to detail possible. He continues, "The price of the game is out of my control, and worth is subjective to each individual. You can decide for yourself if you want it or not. All I'm saying is, I am in awe of the work that an amazing group of people did on the project. A tremendous amount of passion was put into it." Now I actually don't think he's lying here. I mean, I have seen the trailer for the remake and it absolutely looks incredible. I don't know if I'm going to get it. I personally don't think Last of Us deserves a remake. It's one of those games that I just feel like they should leave it alone. It's just such a masterpiece, and honestly the graphics aren't really that old or in need of that big of an upgrade. But it will be interesting to see how the gameplay is implemented after all of these years. I just don't think it's $70 worthy in my opinion, but I can definitely see his point of view. I mean, he's basically saying, make up your own mind, don't harass people for getting it. Now Morrison actually worked on The Last of Us Part 1 as a visual artist and a cinematic animator, so he knows what he's talking about. And when he says that it is the most meticulously built and crafted projects that he ever seen or been a part of, it does make me more excited to see how the game will turn out to be. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section down below. Will you be getting The Last of Us Remake, or will you wait for a sale, or completely ignore it, as you are satisfied with the original? Now I had to end it on this note, but sadly, it seems that the rumored remaster of Bloodborne is not in development all along. As reported by comicbook.com, a notable PlayStation insider has recently shared some bad news for those hoping to see a remaster of From Software's Bloodborne on PlayStation 5 or PC in the future. In recent years, calls for PlayStation to remaster Bloodborne have started to get louder than ever before from fans. Despite this outcry, both PlayStation and From Software have yet to do anything with the franchise since releasing the game's The Old Hunter DLC in 2015. And based on new information that has now come about, it doesn't seem like this pattern will be changing anytime soon. In a recent interaction on social media, one user asked Bloomberg reporter Jason Schreier to leak the existence of a Bloodborne remaster. Schreier is considered one of the most well-connected reporters in relation to the video game industry, which is why he was being asked this in the first place. Unfortunately, rather than leaking the game like was requested, Schreier did the complete opposite and shot down the notion that this project is in the works whatsoever. Quote, "Can't leak what doesn't exist," end quote. Okay, now let's talk about this. He didn't really say that a remaster isn't coming in the future. He just said that there isn't one being developed right now. So it is totally possible that in the future we might see a remaster of Bloodborne. It's not like From Software or Sony came out and said we will never work on Bloodborne ever again. It's just that unfortunately, if we will ever get a Bloodborne remake or remaster, it will be in a very long time, as it doesn't seem to be in development right now. That's all the news for today. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave a like, as that will help with the YouTube algorithm and boost the video up, so that will help tremendously. Also subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and don't forget to hit the bell notification icon to never miss any future uploads. That's all for me now, I'll catch you next time.